Billy here with the Patriot Cast. We have a crossover episode with Bears Destiny, Chris from Bears Destiny. So we'll be discussing recaps of our games last week, Patriots and Bears. And we will be discussing, the intro to the Pats and Bears. And yeah, it'll be a fun one. So welcome to the Patriots Cast,
Thank you
Chris.
for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Christaki. So I'm actually from the Chicago suburbs area. Um, I started Bears Destiny about 2.5 years ago. Kind of just took an off with it. Kind of just did it for fun and kind of just see where it went. So yeah, it's pretty much me. I just kind of just been doing a Bears account for fun. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm Billy, as some of you might know. Um, so Patriots lost last week in an overtime. Um, it was a good game. It was not so fun to watch until the fourth quarter, but Drake Maye again had a great game, leading the team in rushing, which I don't know if we want that or not, but it's whatever. And 11.84 seconds for the last play of the game to send it, or the last play of regulation to send it into overtime. That was it was scary, but we got it done. We got that job done, but Drake Maye threw a pick and that ended it, but it's okay. He's just a rookie. We both can make that excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some free agency signings this week, or one. We just elevated two guys from the practice squad. Mitchell Wilcox, tight end, and linebacker Joe Giles Harris. So that's 4 tight ends for the Patriots room right now. And we get Yannick Ngakoue from the Ravens. This will be interesting. I did not expect this. I did not expect any moves from us this season, but Gerard Mayo, Elliott Wolf, they were active. Not so active in the trade deadline, but they were active with free agency. And we make a move. We get Yannick Ngakoue. He will not be playing this game. Lucky you guys. And yeah, so 29 years old. I thought he was a little older, but yeah. So that's about it for the Pats versus Titans. I mean, it was a quiet game, lots of penalties, way too many penalties. Wasn't even the ref's fault. It was just, bad play by us. Jalen Polk, 2 more penalties than targets last game. So he is just falling down. And yeah. So who did the Bears face last week?
So Bears are coming off I believe, a 29-9 loss to the Cardinals. This would be our second straight loss after playing the Commanders 2 weeks ago off a crazy Hail Mary play. The Bears have, ever since the Hail Mary, the Bears have just not been in a rhythm since coming off the bye. Just came out flat against Washington and have yet again to come out strong last week against the Cardinals. Gave up, I believe it was 108 rushing yards on 18 attempts to James Conner. Stopping the run has been a problem for us recently. As last week we were down both of one of our pretty good defenders in Montez Sweat, edge rusher, and Kyler Gordon, our nickel. But Bears look to bounce back this week against Patriots. Although we are banged up with injuries pretty bad, as Braxton Jones, our left tackle, and our right tackle, Darnell Wright, have been ruled out, as well as our backup tackle, Karana Magaji, a rookie out of BYU, and safety, Jaquan Brisker. And against stopping the run, our defensive tackle, Andrew Billings, just tore his pec and is on injured reserve and is now out for the season. So Bears come back to respond this week against Patriots. It just has not been what we thought it was in the offseason for the Bears. We do get help back in Ryan Bates coming back to the 53-man roster after being on IR. But they just have not been in a rhythm at all, and they kind of look to start that this week again. So we'll see. Depends on the protection. It depends on how the offensive line plays. I'm a firm believer in it starts up front with the offensive line. If the offensive line can protect Caleb Williams just a little bit, I think we'll be okay. Um, we do face a good secondary. I believe in the Patriots. I do believe Christian Gonzalez is pretty damn good corner for the
Mhm.
Patriots or something. So he will be probably my guess. I don't know how the Patriots play on defense, if they play size or just they kind of match up, but I'm guessing he's going to probably be on DJ Moore, from what I'm assuming. Uh, and so we'll see if Romo Duzane steps up to the plate, and Keenan Allen just has also just not been what we thought he was or what we traded for, coming off a season high last year with the Chargers. So we'll see if Roma Duzzi can step up. He had 105 yards against the Cardinals, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, how is that wide receiver room doing? It's looked a little weird with like statistics and stuff, like Keenan Allen being hurt, right? And but I think Odunze he wasn't doing very good, right?
Yeah, so Dunze actually had an injury like week 1, and then he was questionable for week 2 against the Texans, but he's been fine ever since. Keenan Allen has been dealing with a type of Achilles injury. I can't remember off the top of my head what the exact injury name of it was, but it was some type of Achilles. You can see on the film that he just kind of just like has not been running his routes as he's used to. He's a little bit slower. He's been dropping a lot of balls recently, so it just has not been. I don't know what has been going on with that. I mean, he's a seasoned vet. I think he knows what he's doing wrong, and I think he can pick it up. DJ Moore has been getting criticized a lot. I think last week we saw Caleb Williams roll out to the left side, and DJ Moore had talked about how he hurt his ankle and just walked to the bench as the play was still going on. So as Caleb Williams rolled out to the left and they cut back to the right, DJ Moore just went right out of bounds. So we really don't know what's been going on. I shouldn't say I don't know what's been going on with that. It just has not been clicking. He has been clicking with Rome a lot more than he has with Keenan and DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore's best game he's probably had with him was against Carolina. Before I think it was the week before when they went to London, and so I mean I just think that they just need to get going. I think they just need to start clicking, just
Yeah,
put everything aside and just start playing ball.
yeah. Our receiving room definitely not what we thought it would be, but at the same time, it is. Pop Douglas has been, he's been doing pretty good with facing pretty good corners in the past couple weeks. He is quick, like we all know, and him and Drake Maye are really connecting. Jalen Polk, Washington, second rounder out of Washington. He's been dropping a lot of balls, and to the point where he's getting criticized a lot by coach, and he's just kind of like he said himself, I have the best hands in the league, but that's wrong. Like, I'm all for confidence, but like maybe a little be a little realistic now.
Yeah,
And I think he has it in him. But I mean, right now he's maybe a slump. Starting off the slump isn't very good though. We have Kyle Duggar out, safety, so that's the third straight week he's been out. Our safety room has been stepping it up though. Del Pettis, who is an undrafted free agent out of Troy, he's been doing good. Someone that he was on the verge of not making the final roster, and now he's like number one safety. So he's really fun to watch. We have Alex Austin, who probably will not play. He's a cornerback who was on IR for a while. He got off IR, but I really don't think he will play. Christian Ellis, our linebacker, he is out officially. So we dropped Raekwon McMillan, our linebacker, and now Christian Ellis is out. So that leaves us with that's really gonna damage us. It's gonna probably be Taki. Simon Takitaki, and Jelani Tavai, who had a very good game last week. Interception and probably like 8, maybe 10 tackles. I don't know exactly, but he had a good game. Daniel Okwale, our defensive tackle, he's coming off. He played last week, I think. Yeah, he played last week, and he got hurt, so he's questionable. Vidarian Lowe, our right tackle, or left tackle. He's been doing pretty good this season. Offensive line is a very big weak spot in this Patriots team, as most of the NFL knows. And we've gotten better. August was a rough month with the offensive line. We moved right back to it in week 2, week 3, and we kind of improved from there. Mike Onwenu has been doing much better. We have Layden Robinson, who's questionable. I really hope he doesn't play because, Gerard Mayo loves Layden Robinson, but I just can't stand him. He's holding and, illegal man downfield. He's just we just got to sit him, let him. He's a rookie. I don't think he's a bust, but he is just causing a lot of penalties, and he's costed us many drives with those penalties. So that's just something that, like you said, those men up front, they're a big part in the game. So we see that a lot here in New England. Marte Mapu, safety, is questionable. He's another safety along with Del Pettis, who stepped up with Kyle Duggar's absence. Hopefully he plays. He's been doing really good for the past 4 weeks that he's been active from IR, from season-ending injury last year. And then Keon White, he's hurt. I do think he will play. He is started off very well in the season. He's went down a little bit, but I do think he will come back. How's your offensive line, Any?
Not good. We have just straight up. It just hasn't been clicking. Offensive line this week is really banged up. I think I mentioned it before, but our left tackle being out and our starting right tackle being out, and Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, not what you want, especially with the struggling offense we have right now, is the last thing that you want. As well as our backup, like I said, Karana Magaji out of BYU, rookie. Also out with a calf injury, and so we'll see how it all plays. I think, and then Ryan Bates, like I said, activated from IR, from a shoulder injury. As 2 years ago, Ryan Poles had tried to match the offer with the Bills. Kind of was like in a rotation with the Bills offensive line. Kind of was starting, kind of was not. And I expect him to be plugged in somewhere, rather than they move Matt Pryor, who's right now the right guard, move him to right tackle, plug Bates in at right guard. And then maybe have Jake Curran, who was elevated from the practice squad, I believe, move to left tackle. So we're just going to have to see how it pans out. Yeah, they pretty much really banged up front. Not ideal at all. And so it's just going to be a matter of if you can hold your ground and see what happens, and Caleb's going to have to pray. So,
yeah. Drake May, he's been praying a lot lately.
Yeah.
So is Brissett. So have I.
Yeah.
But what else? We have our defensive tackle, Jacqueline Roy. He's questionable. We need him to play. So that'll be a big part in your offensive line if he does play. If he doesn't, then lucky you guys. But he's been doing pretty good in the past couple of weeks. So someone who we didn't really know in the beginning of the season, who's now playing pretty well. But we have Drake May versus Caleb Williams, the first overall versus third overall. As of right now in the season, how are you feeling about Caleb Williams, and do you think he was worth the number 1 overall draft pick?
I confidently do believe Caleb is the number 1 pick, and I still am firm on it. I think he still is. Probably gonna sound crazy, but I just don't know how you don't pick up Caleb Williams at that current time when he was in college and be like, how do you not pick him first overall? Um, I will say though, it's just the play calling. Yeah, you can shout the play calling. I mean, it kind of goes both ways. The play calling has not been it with Shane Waldron. A lot of Bears fans
Same.
have been.
Oh my God.
Shane Waldron has been not calling the right plays, I believe, in my opinion. Um, again, I really don't know what goes behind the scenes of what goes on of like what they're talking about. So I mean, just from a fan standpoint, it just doesn't seem like they're the right place for him. Um, I have been disappointed a little bit in just his just like his deep balls. I mean, we saw in college. I mean, was able to hit the deep ball pretty good. Was able to drop it in the bucket, but there's been some times where they've kind of faded out, rolling where they faded DJ, and he just kind of throws and it's gone out of bounds.
Mm.
Um, I do think though. I think I'll shut this down right now. I don't know with like all like the other Bears fans how they feel about it, but I think I would have taken Caleb over Justin Fields 100%. I don't think Justin was able to read through his progressions very well. I don't think Justin was able to read a defense. Caleb has a very high IQ, I believe, and he goes through his progressions. I saw a statistic where actually Roma Dunze hits his third read. I think it was at like 97, 96% of the time, and his first read 46. So the statistic shows that he goes through his progression, he reads. So again, it's his rookie year. I also do think that I don't think it helps that he maybe has a millisecond to throw sometimes and he's scrambling for his for his life. But yeah, I mean, I've been happy. He's shown some stuff that I've really liked. Hitting the slant or is maybe looking the linebacker off to hit, whoever it is in the slot. His rollouts sometimes when he's thrown on the run has been very very fun to watch. Um, I just hope to see that. But again, Bears had a chance to kind of had this first part of the schedule pretty easy, facing Cardinals, who I think were very beatable, Colts, which I think we should have won. Um, but yeah, and now we got the NFC North coming up right after this. It'll be Packers, Lions, Vikings. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard for this team
Tough.
to kind of go full steam ahead and kind of get wherever they need together.
Yeah. Um, Drake May. I don't know. No, I love the pick. I will never regret it, no matter what he does. There's been some things that I didn't really like. One of them being his sliding ability. He just does not slide. He got the concussion 2 weeks ago and missed the rest of the game. So that's something that you just got to do. I mean, Anthony Richardson, he showed last year that we thought he was a great player, but he didn't slide, and now he just got benched. Like, I'm not saying that's gonna happen to Drake, but like, I don't know. You just got to slide. He's already gotten hurt once. Can't risk it again. As far as play calling, like you just said, I absolutely hate our play caller, Alex Van Pelt. I just cannot stand him. Anyone who's been listening to the podcast, I've probably said it every time that we need to fire him. Probably since we got him. It's just his play calling, his everything he does. I can't handle it. And he was the one that did not want Drake to start earlier. So I'm not sure if that was a good decision, bad decision. I mean, we'll never know. But I think it was a bad decision. Like I said, we'll never know though. But I like how he's been he's been taking those risks. Some of them have been interceptions, but some of them have been great connections to receivers that we did not think would be connecting with either of the quarterbacks. Like Kayshon Boutte, he was fighting for a roster spot, and now he's fighting for wide receiver 1. So the development that these receivers have developed, I guess, is they've developed a lot, but some of them have just gotten like far down. Jalen Polk being one of them. KJ Osborne, who is inactive most of the time. Tyquan Thornton inactive most of the time. So some guys that were, they were at the number 1 spot in training camp, both of them, but now they're not even playing. So the tables have turned, I guess. And who's your CB1 this game?
Meaning like cornerback?
Yeah.
So our secondary, I believe, is fully healthy. So our back will be probably right now is going to be Jalen Johnson, number 1. We'll have Tyreek Stevenson on the outside, and Kyler Gordon coming back now is going to be huge for us. At the nickel spot, and then Kevin Byard at safety, and then with Jaquan Brisker being out with his concussion now, still, will probably be Elijah Hicks. So Bears
That's a good
secondary is
run.
pretty good. So we'll see it. We'll see what happens. Again, Kyler Gordon's a huge asset for us on defense. Matty Eberflus likes to move him around a little bit outside, maybe sometimes sneaks the blitz in like a delayed blitz. And so, yeah, so pretty excited to have Kyler Gordon back, and especially Montez Sweat on the outside.
Yeah. Christian Gonzalez is a huge part in our defense, in our team. He has been locking up almost every receiver he's faced. I think I saw like a stat today. He's let up like 1 touchdown all year. Under 500 yards he's let up, which is just ridiculous. Through 10 weeks. So he'll probably be on DJ Moore, like you said. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. Romo Junze will probably be Jonathan Jones, who's also been pretty well this year, and then Keenan Allen, Marcus Jones, and then so Cole Kmet, he's been doing pretty good lately too, right?
Yeah, Cole Kmet.
On and off, I guess.
Yeah, Cole Kmet I think is like one of our most underrated weapons that we have, and I think Cole Kmet. I think when you feed him the ball and you start giving the ball, you start passing him, he becomes really, really hard to stop. He's excellent, I think, in the run game and in the pass game. Last week though, I thought it was very interesting. He had 0 targets, 0 catches, and 0 yards, which is not something that Bears fans have seen. When you have I think I firmly believe that Cole Kmet is a top 10 tight end in the NFL.
Wow.
But I don't know, a guy like that, you should be feeding him way more. It's just
especially the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, he's kind of like your blanket guy for any rookie quarterback. He does everything well, and he's a captain on the team too. So it's not like he's just some like a 1-year deal. He's a captain of this team. So with that being said, I think that Cole Kmet should be targeted more. I think there's probably definitely a meeting they had this week about getting him the ball, and so I think it's very essential for this Bears offense to get Cole Kmet the ball. So
yeah. He'll like Jelani Tavai. He'll be interesting to see. I mean, he'll play some coverage on him on the tight ends too. So
yeah.
Keon, I'm hoping to see a lot from Keon White this game. With your offensive line banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how Keon White's injury is gonna affect him. I doubt it will. But because he's not questionable or anything. So and I think he was limited today in practice. Or no. He was limited on Friday, I think. Or full, I don't know. But that'll be interesting to watch. And what else? That might be it for questions about the Bears and all that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, offensive line's pretty banged up. I don't know. I don't know too much about Patriots offensive line. I know they've been like pretty like they've been okay, and then sometimes it's just been like I saw like the last play when Jake made through the touchdown and going to overtime, he was running for his life. And
Yeah.
so but yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how with the Bears, Andrew Billings being on IR, Zach Pickens, a 3rd-round pick last year, stepping up to the plate. And so I know Jervon Dexter's a lot to handle for us. I mean, not for us, for other teams, he's just been a monster as we expected going in for us Bears fans, we expected him to be. And so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of concepts the Patriots run on offensive line to see, are they going to double team, they could double team Dexter, are they going to double team Sweat? And then let's see what's going to happen with that. So I'm interested to see that as well.
Yeah, I mean, our O-line, we've definitely developed. I mean, Ben Brown at center, he got some penalties last week, but he's someone that just brings a lot of energy into our team. We're missing Christian Barmore right now, who's he's a top 5 guy on our team and top 5 defensive guy at least. And we're missing Juwan Bentley out for the season. Lost him in week 2 versus Seahawks. We're missing Jabril Peppers, who a lot of we don't know when, zero clue when he's gonna come back. Nobody's asked Mayo any questions about that yet. So when I see Mayo, I'm gonna have to ask him. But and then that's like for big guys in the defense. That's about it for injuries. But I mean, Chukuma Okorafor, he just walked off in like week 3, so now we lost him. But Ben Brown, he's allowed some pressures and over the past couple games, but I like the energy that he brings to our team so that that helps with the offensive line. Yeah, that's about it for Pats versus Bears key matchups. What's your prediction for the game? What do you think?
I'm always going to be biased. I always predict Bears to win,
I
whatever, unless you play like the Chiefs or something. But that being said, I do think that I mean, Bears know it inside the locker room. I think everybody else knows it. I mean, this is a must win for the Bears, and I think that with everything going on, the outside noise kind of getting to them a little bit. Everyone, Matt Eberflus probably trying to save his job right now. So I do think the Bears are going to come out, I think, on top. I think they've also been very good at home as well. I mean, we see the stat that Matt Eberflus was 0-18 on Sundays. So, but Bears have always had success at home. So I do think Bears come out. I think they do get the victory. But we'll see. So I mean, you never know. I mean, us Bear fans always say we've hit rock bottom, and then there's something always under the bottom. So you never know. But I do think that everyone kind of comes together. I think everyone kind of clicks on defense and offense a little bit. I think the offense might get a little bit going. So I think the Bears come out on top of this game, though.
Yeah, as a Bears fan, that Hail Mary versus the Commanders, who was that? Like hyping up the crowd? Was it number 29? I think.
Are you talking about the our cornerback that was waving to the fans?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson.
What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I mean, I'm like, you just gotta play to the whistle. I mean, he's always been kind of a big talker. I would say he kind of likes to chirp a little bit. You probably saw it in Sunday Night Football against Nico Collins. He had stuck his finger in Nico Collins' face mask. So he's kind of always been the guy. He just kind of gets a little amped up. He just starts talking. With that being said, though, it just can't happen. You just can't happen. And then for him to be taunting to the fans or whatever he was doing with the fans, and his back's to the play as the play's going on, and then for him to go to the pit where everyone was on the Hail Mary, and then for him to tip the ball to Noah Brown is just kind of, if nobody believes in karma, there you have it.
Yeah.
But it's just, he just got to be better. I think he knows it. I mean, these guys in the locker room have his back. Again, I'm disappointed in it, but it's also at the same time, I think he knows that, that it was just, that's not cool at all, and that's not the right thing to do. And if I was Tyreek Stevenson and I did that and I had teammates and they were mad at me, like I wouldn't want that. So, but
Mhm.
last game he played well. I thought he just held his own last game against the Cardinals. He was benched for a little bit, and then Terrell Smith, our corner out of Minnesota, um, ended up getting hurt with an ankle injury, I believe. And so I think he should be good to go. As I'm looking at the injury report right now, he's good to go, I believe. But yeah, it just can't happen. So I think he'll learn from his mistakes, and I think he'll bounce back. So
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna be biased like you this
yeah,
game, and I'm gonna probably have to go Patriots.
yeah,
Um, I just feel like this is our week to show up, prove that Drake May should have been drafted first, and um, obviously 1 week won't show that, but
hmm
I think that we can get this win if we really want it. Um, I part of it looks like Alex Van Pelt is tanking, but I think that's just because he's like a terrible offensive coordinator. So I don't know what his deal is. You'll probably see some terrible offensive calls. And don't blame Mayo. It's AVP.
I could we can probably talk about how each of our offensive coordinators we haven't been happy with them. So I
Yeah,
mean
it's
I'll get pissed at my guy. You're probably gonna get pissed at your guy. So it's
yeah, I just can't
it's gonna
stand them.
happen.
Um, but it might just be the rookie quarterbacks that
hmm
are making them look bad. But ours is brand new, so
hmm
but 6 passing touchdowns and 209 rushing yards in his first 5 career games for Drake May. That's pretty good. And like I said earlier, leading the team in rushing, I don't know if we want that, but at the same time, it shows that he is determined to get those yards and he makes plays happen, I guess. So, um that's probably about it for today. Anything else you want to say about this game or
No, I'm just excited to see. It's just kind of be two teams that kind of just really need to win, and so I think we're just gonna see what happens. Battle of the rookies, so that'll be fun. Uh, yeah, let's see what happens. I'm excited to see matchups on on DJ Moore and Gonzo, and then see what happens on the offensive line. So we'll see. Let's see if Caleb finally connects with Moore. Let's see if Drake May has the arm talent. Let's see if I want to see that maybe he throw. I don't want him to throw it on us, but let's see his long arm that he has, the strong arm that he
yeah.
has on offense. So, um, no, I think I'm excited for this. I'm going to the game actually. So if anybody sees me or whatever, any Bears fans that are watching this, you come say hi, please. I'm more than happy to say hi. But no, yeah, it'll be interesting. So we'll see, and then Bears, I gotta get this dub, and then next week we're home against Packers. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Our special teams, I would not be shocked to see if they, make a difference in this game.
Yeah,
Um, it'll, it could, I don't know, probably won't come down to that, but if we can always rely on our special teams with Brendan Schooler and Dial out there, so
yeah.
they'll get down to you guys quick.
I hope so. I mean, Tory Taylor. I mean, I think it was the fourth or I correct me. I think it was I somewhere fourth or fifth round pick last year for the Bears. Has been a absolutely a difference maker for us on special teams for the Bears. He's been, I think a game against the Rams, he had punted the ball at least 3+ times inside the 10-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see that. I'm excited to see that in person as well. But yeah, I've seen a lot of the Patriot special teams kind of just punishing teams whenever they haven't been, you know, picking up on blocks or whatever. And so it'll be interesting to see that. I hope it's not a special teams for special teams kind of game tomorrow.
Oh God, no.
I would not be happy with that. But yeah, I mean, special returner you guys have, and I think we have a pretty good punter. So I mean, see what happens with that.
Yeah, I haven't broken a TV yet this season, so
Yeah,
hopefully I don't tomorrow, but
yeah,
any given Sunday.
yeah.
So you can find my work at Patriot Focus on Instagram. Where can everyone find your work?
Um, You can look me up on Instagram, Bears_Destiny. I'm a little bit same thing on Twitter. I'm kind of on Twitter, yes, a little bit, yes and no. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. Just look me up, Bears_Destiny. Kind of do just game day stuff or breaking news, updates, trending. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter.
All right. All right. Thanks for joining today. It's been a fun one,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see. We'll see the outcome of this game. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully the Patriots win. Hopefully the Bears win for you.
yeah,
But they can't both win. So there's gonna be one outcome, and we'll see what it is. So
yeah. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It was a lot of